The dragon does put purple up ahead. It is a pretty even game. It's 2-4, but with that 2-kill advantage, with the tower and with the dragon, purple's coming off to an early lead. I still think that I prefer blue's team fights. They do have some nice synergy, and Akali is definitely going to be really strong against a disorganized team, but if purple holds together, they are taking an early advantage here. Everyone's doing a pretty good job farming. We see Blitzcrank is actually going for an early Glacial Shroud, primarily for the mana. You usually see something like a Sheen if you want the mana. Glacial Shroud's definitely good, though. It does give the cooldown reduction and the mana. The hook from Blitzcrank missing on that Taric there. And Udyr does have the Heart of Gold and is going for, and the Philo Stone, as well as going for Aegis, so he's going to be racking up lots of gold to go along with his excellent farming capabilities, and the early Aegis will definitely help his team out. Brand doesn't really have a lot of damage right now, but hopefully has... Oh wow, Brand only has 68 gold. So I was just commenting a second ago, I thought everyone was doing a good job, but you see right off the bat, Caitlyn is just destroying Brand in CS bot lane, and I don't think that has to do with their aggression. It primarily has to do with just Brand probably missing CS, because Brand and Blitzcrank have had control of this lane, so that is definitely unfortunate to see there. He will need to get some damage, and right now he really doesn't have any. He just has a couple of Dorans. Talon coming in, trying to get the blink and the slow off onto Kennen. He will kind of throw some damage under that tower. Not really going to accomplish anything. He really needed Skarner to be there. But Brand, I think, is definitely going to be a key here. He's going to have his team behind. You see Kennen with the early Will of the Ancients, and Nocturne coming in, going to try and get the Fear. The ultimate from Skarner pulls Kennen back, but he throws off the ultimate, and Talon's going very low, but Kennen's going to die, I believe, to Talon, just barely able to get out of there, but Talon blinks away. Skarner's chasing, Nocturne's chasing, Kennen's going to live, but Nocturne's able to pick up the kill, and then Taric comes in for the kill onto Skarner. So when ganks go bad, a little too aggressive. They knew that Nocturne was there, and they were both kind of sitting there, and Talon was just like, yeah, I really want to get this kill. Come on, Skarner, let's get this kill. And it did turn against them, so a little bit of an advantage here. Akali will get some farm, while Talon's just, dead and not going to be able to accomplish anything, and they are going to do a lot of damage mid. Udyr is coming up to take them off this tower, but they will finish this tower. And the mid tower is definitely worth a bit more than the top tower. They will provide them with a lot of map control. And Brand is able to pick up Taric, the Blitzcrank pull likely going onto him. But Caitlyn, while Brand is damaging Taric, just able to throw off all that damage onto Brand, and as he's leaving, has the ace in the hole to snipe him. Nocturne does have his ultimate, so he is coming in, trying to see if he can get in behind Blitzcrank. I'm not sure how low he thought Blitzcrank was, but he's going to run into Udyr now. He needs his team to come up and help him. He will have the shield and the fear, so he should be okay in getting out. Udyr will run away and break that. So they will go back to jungling for a second here. But in the meantime, Akali was able to get some good damage top. This top tower is probably close to dying, so Blue, is pulling back into a lead here, taking some advantage. I'm not sure when Dragon's spawning. I believe it's at around 19 minutes, so it should be about a minute and a half until we see another dragon fight. Udyr's coming up, throwing off a ward, getting some good vision, and Skarner is actually stunned. Kennen doing a good job getting off that stun so that Skarner can't get that ultimate. Udyr was kind of in position. I think he was a little bit too far off to really do much, but Akali continuing the farm and moving into the jungle to steal those jungle creeps, definitely what you want to be doing. Skarner is actually going for a AP build. The Rod of Aegis will, give him some health and also give him some mana and ability power, so that'll definitely help him out a lot. He might be going kind of that Maokai build that you saw Chu 8 used to go, and it was Rod of Aegis into a Sheen and Triforce, so it's more of a DPS, but the Rod of Aegis for the early game along with the Catalyst procs. And Udyr chasing down Nocturne. He is going to get the stun this time, but Kennen ulting on top of Brand, throws off a ton of damage. Brand just barely not dying. Nocturne ults into him. The ults bouncing back and forth between Caitlyn and Kennen. Nocturne still chasing down Brand. And Skarner throws off the ultimate onto Nocturne to prevent the damage, and Blitzcrank with Skarner is able to pick up that kill, and Taric is probably going to go down in a second now. Caitlyn throwing off her damage, trying to get the kill onto Udyr, but Udyr has that shield, is able to kind of defend against it, and Caitlyn and Kennen are going to get out, but the pull from Blitzcrank just barely missing, just barely out of range. That would have really, won that fight for them. As it stands, it was pretty even. Slight advantage for purple, actually big advantage for purple. None of them died, and 2 of them for blue did die. And now Talon is going to take mid, so once again purple's kind of throwing out this lead and this early map advantage. They will try and push down bot likely, especially with the next dragon. I guess the dragon's going to be at around 20 minutes. I'll start paying more attention to that, I guess, in the future. Continuing to look at items, we see Brand does have the needlessly large rod now, will be building towards the Rabadons, and Akali is working on that gunblade. She doesn't have it yet. I'm guessing if she recalls, she probably has it, but she hasn't been getting any kills early, so it hasn't really snowballed her that well yet. Kennen is going for kind of a light damage build. You see a lot of times Kennens will build Will of the Ancients and realize I really don't agree with it. Will of the Ancients doesn't give you a lot of ability power. The Hex deck really helps in lane, and then I guess the reasoning is that Will of the Ancients is so cheap that you're kind of like, oh, well, I might as well finish it. Kennen will be okay here, but they are circling around onto Blitzcrank. Actually, he's out, so they will pick up the bot tower. But anyway, Will of the Ancients, the Hex deck definitely helps, and it's really strong in lane. But then I think a lot of the reasoning is that you look and it's like, oh, it's only an extra 900 to upgrade to Will of the Ancients, and that's definitely a good upgrade. But early game, I think you really need to get out some damage, and Kennen's not going to have a lot of damage. She really has low ability power, so it's going to be very dependent on the rest of her team. Fortunately, they do have a decent amount of damage output, and the same goes with Realize. Realize is really a utility item. It gives you that slow, gives you that HP, but it's not a damaging item. It doesn't. It does give you some ability power, but compared with Rabadons or some of the other ability power items, it really doesn't up your damage output by that much. So it's kind of more about chasing down the enemy with that slow. So it doesn't help you in fast team fights where you might want more burst. They are coming in here, and this dragon looks like it's going to go to purple. I'm not sure who got it. It actually did go to blue. Blue was able to steal that dragon from them. Nocturne with the excellent smite, and then Nocturne ulting back on the Brand. They are able to pick up that kill, and then Akali picks up the kill onto Brand. Talon is here, going to chase down Caitlyn, going to get some damage, but he runs into a trap. The fear goes off onto Udyr. He's chasing him down, and Talon's going to want to get out of here too. The ace in the hole goes off onto Talon, and Talon will go down along with Akali, and now Akali has that red buff, and she's just going to be chasing down a Skarner here, and he's going to go down as well. So that's an ace for their team. Just excellent job. Not only did they steal the dragon, but they also got the ace. And they are going to be able to push down a tower now, and all of a sudden this game's back in their court. They're at an advantage now. Continuing to look at items, we see that Nocturne is building towards the Yumu's. Definitely a good decision, and Akali actually has finished that Hex deck Gunblade, so she will have that kind of chasing ability. Brand throwing down the ultimate. It's bouncing back and forth. It only hit Nocturne once, which is pretty fortunate for him. If it had bounced a little bit more back and forth and hit him 2 or 3 times, then he probably would have gone down. Brand saying real bounces, not happy about that at all. But we will want to see Tarek's probably come up here to get some good ward coverage over Baron. They might want to force it in a little bit. They don't have the best Baron control. We see that Caitlyn does have a Bloodthirster, so not the best damage output for Baron right now. She is doing well. Don't get me wrong, a Bloodthirster is an excellent item, but if she had, say, an IE or a Wriggles, then it would be a little bit easier. They should be okay, though. Kennen's fairly tanky, so he could probably sit up next to the Baron a little bit more than most AP champs would. Along with those heals and the ultimate from Tarek will, give them that damage output to do it a little bit faster. And Brand actually has finished the Rabadons and finally his Sork Shoes, so he's ready to get in this game, do some damage. Kennen does need to watch out. Blitzcrank is here. She will be a little cautious, but get down to her team. Talon has the Brutalizer. It will give him some great armor pen along with the cooldown reduction. Looking to finish kind of a larger damage item, probably a Bloodthirster there, I would assume so. So we'll want to get the stacks up. Really, I think they need to be kind of a little bit careful because Purple Team is definitely a single target burst team aside from Brand, so they're really looking to pick off people one at a time and snowball fights that way with their single target damage. So they really need the wards. They need to be careful, and they are coming up top to see if they can get a kill. They should be okay getting out of here. But that's really the strength of their team. And Talon jumping on top of Akali. Nocturne is going to be here. Talon did go invisible, so he is going to get out of there. He was trying to slow time for Blitzcrank and Skarner to get in, and now Skarner is going to get in. Nocturne doesn't have that shield, there's the shield, but they have the shield off. Blitzcrank going to throw the pull. Where's the pull? The ultimate from Skarner is able to pick up a kill. Kennen able to get a kill on Udyr up here, but Nocturne does go down, so, pretty even trade. They will be able to push mid a little bit because they know that they can move towards the bottom side if they're pursued. Tarek does need to watch out. He's kind of alone, and if they were able to get the kill onto Tarek to get that Oracles, that would definitely help them out a lot. You might want to see Purple getting in Oracles, but Talon and Akali throwing out some damage on each other. Talon throws off the ultimate to go invisible and getting a lot of damage on Akali. Akali's probably going to go down here. Can they get the pull? Oh, the pull goes on to Tarek, and Tarek's going to be popped up. All that damage output. The brand ult bouncing back and forth. Is Akali going to go down? But Tarek goes down. They are able to pick up the kill and get that Oracles, so that's definitely a huge gold advantage. Unfortunately, Tarek was kind of baited up there. He wanted to get up and make sure that he could help his teammate, but he came a little bit too close. He should have, been paying attention and been able to dodge that pull from Blitzcrank. Unfortunately, he was not able to. And the fear will go off. Brand actually flashes away to get out of that fear. They're still chasing, but they know that Skarner and Blitzcrank are up here. I'm not sure what they're thinking. Talon almost able to get the flash. If he was able to get that blink onto Nocturne, Nocturne would have gone down. So he will want to regen a little bit. They do see the enemy is all kind of backing. If they do get vision and the enemy recalls, this could be a free Baron, especially since Nocturne is bottom. Akali needs to get up to her team, and Tarek does as well. They don't have vision, but they suspect that the enemy is recalling. They still need to be careful. Here's the enemy. Talon had recalled, but Blitzcrank and Brand are both still there, and Nocturne just taking a ton of damage, almost dying to that Baron. He really needs Tarek and Akali there to help share the burden of tanking. He can't solo tank, but they are able to pick up the Baron. Yes, they do get the Baron. No one's really there. And Akali flashing over on top of Brand, throws off the Gunblade, and picks up the kill very quickly along with Caitlyn. And now, they do have the Baron. They are in an advantage with towers and kills, and they will want to buy their items and then look to aggressively push. We do see that Udyr has actually picked up a Vision Ward. So I was talking a second ago about how they really want to get into Oracles, especially for Akali, and then their really main focus is going to be, let's just burst down Akali, because they really need to take out that damage. But Udyr has picked up that Vision Ward instead of the Oracles, so they can drop it on her Shrouds. That's definitely a good decision there. Skarner is picking up some defensive items. He knows that he's got a decent damage output and has those disables, so he's primarily looking to just survive in these fights and not be bursted down quite as much, because really Blue has come out with quite a bit of damage at this point and just kind of running them down with all of their ultimates and with this great team fighting synergy. We see that Caitlyn does have a Zeal and has actually another BF sword, so along with the Baron, Caitlyn probably has around 250 damage right now. So let me take a look. Caitlyn has 300 damage actually, so she really has a lot of damage. As long as they can keep Caitlyn safe and then keep Akali safe, they are really going to just be eating into the enemy. She will want to get some armor pen, so I don't know if this is going to become a Black Cleaver, or if she's looking to make an IE here. That'd be a good decision, but she really is probably wanting to get out a Last Whisper. A couple of them have armor. They will take a dragon, so, once again, furthering that gold advantage. Kennen has finished the Realize. It's definitely a strong item on Kennen, and she knows that her team has some damage along with the Baron, so I think the Baron really is key in helping Kennen keep up that damage output, even with these kind of utility items. I'm not going to say they're poor items. I mean, they're definitely good items. It's just they're more situational. I would tend to prefer more damage output, so that the enemy kind of has to worry about you more, especially when she knows that she's got Akali and Caitlyn here. Though the Will of the Ancients will benefit